Hey everyone, this is Sav. Just arrived here at Alex Corona's shop in Panama City Beach. Here for my first session, so let's go ahead and go and meet him. What's up, brother?
How's it going, man? How was the drive?
Not bad, not bad.
Yes,
a little long, 6 hours, but nice shop, honestly, you know.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir. Well,
Yes, sir.
It's a long drive, but it's going to be worth it.
100%.
Let's get to it. So, first step would be for you to take your glasses off for me,
Okay.
my friend. Then, I want you to raise your eyebrows up as high as you can again. So essentially, that's where your forehead muscles are at.
Okay.
So we have to keep the treatment above there, because if not, when you make your facial expressions, when you laugh, smile, talk,
Yep.
it'll be like this.
Yeah, it'll be
Kinda
moving.
moving. So
Yeah.
you want to keep it above that. So we can sprinkle into it,
Yep.
and you can see where you had the lash removal done,
Yep.
where it's kind of where it's at right here, except for these corners. It seemed like she kind of kept them a little bit
Yep.
up like that.
Yep.
So in general, what do you feel about that placement right there?
Okay, so, yep. I mean, as long as it's natural, that's all that matters to me. Let's see here. You know what I mean? That's good enough for me, bro. Like, no complaints. Do you think it's too low? Should I go higher?
So it's gonna be higher than this. Like I said, this
Yeah.
is. I'm gonna feather into it
Yeah.
about right around here.
Okay.
You know, because I'm gonna try to keep most of the bulk where you have all this hair at
Yeah.
still. Because I don't want to try to make it
Yeah.
so dark. Like I know you have, it's really dark right here because
Yeah.
you have so much hair.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make it so dark to where that's that dark right there.
100%.
You know, maybe as dark as, because this is a little bit darker than on the sides right
Yeah.
here. Like
Yeah.
when you look, even though you kind of have this hyperpigmentation, we're gonna just act like that's not there.
Yeah.
But it's really lighter compared to the gray tonish right here.
Correct.
So just trying to add that as much as we can, but not overdoing it.
Yep.
And for this session, because it's such a small area, we're gonna add a decent amount of density, but I'm not gonna try to make it look finished on this session.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, I wanna make sure that we build it up naturally, and people assume because it's such a small area that you can go in on it.
Yeah.
But I feel like these type of hairlines are one of the hardest to execute because there's so much hair. You have to strategically make the treatment. You can't
Correct.
just say, "Oh, I'm gonna put some color and some dots in there," because it's gonna. And even then, for the most experienced artists, it's still difficult to achieve that seamless transition for your hair loss level.
Yeah.
So, because the area is so small, we can do more sessions and do shorter sessions, but build it up toward the end if you need even a fourth or even a fifth session.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I give you up until 6 months from my last session to come in and just get a touch up. And so I would always add even if it's a dot, 2, 3 dots to make it great than to just overdo it. Because it's such a small space,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's right there. So this is gonna be where everybody sees. So less is more.
Perfect. So essentially, my hairline wouldn't be right here; it'll be feathered into it. So it'll be more like right there.
Yeah,
Essentially.
it's gonna be feathered into it.
Okay, that's my concern. Like, I don't want it too low, but you know, that's.
Yeah, because we can always add more. You know,
Yeah.
say if like you're like, hey, I've sat on it, I like how it looks.
Yep.
Let's make it a little bit more bolder at the hairline.
Yep.
We can always do that.
Yeah. The more natural is what I'm going for.
Good,
And
yeah,
you
that's
specialize in that, so you.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Now, how are you feeling about these side profiles? Do you want to add much into them, or we can always add? You can always come back and add it, or
Yeah.
just whatever you want to do. I can always kind of.
What's your professional opinion?
My opinion is that you have so mumuch right here we really need to worry about that we can always come back on like a second or a third session
Okay.
and add a little bit of razzle dazzle like right around here.
Yeah.
Because it's still really
Yep.
you have a lot of hair right there.
Yep.
So I don't want to have to add more than I really need to.
Exactly.
You
And
know?
those generally are the tells, right? When if someone overdosed their
Temples?
the temples, it's the tell for SMP, right?
Yeah, it is. So like a lot of people don't like to do. If I have to, if it requires for, I'll put a C cup right there
Yep.
on some clients.
Yep.
But a lot of artists won't, and
Yeah.
it'll just be a drop off,
Yeah.
or they'll go too hard and it'll be a solid line.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
goal for us is just a super soft, seamless transition. You shave with a foil shaver, a pit bull shaver, so it still leaves a little stubble, but
Yep.
still we want a very subtle treatment that just blends in with what you have.
Yep.
And that's really all we're going for.
Perfect. Perfect.
And because your skin tone already kind of gives off some greenish undertones,
Yeah.
we're still trying to match this. But we want, you want to like create an olive tone, but not like a green
Yep.
tone. You know what I mean?
Valid.
We can even kick this up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, if I feel like if I'm doing a barbershop hairline, I'll use like measuring tools
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yep.
But
yeah.
In general now, I don't use too many measuring tools. I feel like your eyes are the best measuring tools, and just following the placement of your client's natural forehead muscle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that'll come in and say, hey, I want my hairline to be like down on my forehead, and then I'm like, well, raise your muscles, and then it's like, no, they can't do it. They have to keep it way higher.
And in general, like a natural hairline is not, perfect. So
It's not.
exactly.
It's not. It's a perfectly imperfect
Yeah.
hairline. You
Yeah.
know, and in general, the face is split up
Yep.
into 3 sections. So, but for me, I usually just use the person's forehead muscles.
Yep.
But I bet you if I go from right here
Mm-hmm.
to right here to right here, it matches right there perfectly.
Yep.
So it's all split. Essentially, what we've done is you put your head down a little bit.
Yep.
We've marked off the areas where you're experiencing the most hair loss.
Yep.
We've marked off where your facial muscles stop, so we know we got to kind of keep it behind that line.
Mm-hmm.
We marked off where we're going to start breaking up our density, which is going to be behind. It's going to be in front of this area where you're experiencing the most hair loss, because we really have to tackle these areas in order to tie it off.
Yep.
And then I've marked off areas of the scalp where I just see some slight diffuse thinning all
Yep.
in the back, where you see little pockets where the follicles have died. I'll
Yep.
just kind of go in and just try to tie it all in together,
Yep.
and just lay a really solid foundation down for your next session.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You ready?
As ready as it can be. Go for it,
All
bro.
right, let's do it.
All right, guys. So it's pretty much done here. First session. Nice impressions. Little red, but as expected, right?
And we put that work in today,
Yes, sir.
So today we really just focused on matching his hair follicle size, shape, and spacing. So in the next session, we're gonna really try to balance out this color. You can see in the middle of the hairs, the treatment's not gonna give off this gray undertone. So that's why it's necessary to go in between this work with a softer shade and strategically build it up to make a seamless blend. But these treatments right here are some of the hardest to complete naturally, because it's such a small area. Tying the two together seamlessly is essential.
100%.
100%.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Well, pretty much this is the final result. It's how it is. First session, full head of hair. So what do I do for aftercare, bro?
Yes, so
Yep.
on your aftercare starting tomorrow, when
Yep.
you wake up, you want a minimum 6 hours before you use the aftercare products that I give you.
Yep.
Then at that point, you're gonna put some of this Microtonic on there.
Okay.
This is made by the same company as this. They come in a smaller package, but I always just fill up these foam bottles
Yep.
so I can give it to you. You don't have to worry about it. You have plenty of it.
Perfect.
Starting tomorrow, you're gonna clean it with this Microtonic, and then immediately after, you're gonna apply a very, very thin film
Okay.
of this SMP Savvy. And what this is going to do is this is going to clean the skin of any oils, dirt, and grime.
Yep.
And this is going to replenish the skin and keep it hydrated.
Perfect.
And you never want to use this without using this first.
Okay.
Because this creates a barrier. And if you
Like a
have not cleaned it, you're going to create a barrier with germs.
Yep.
You know, so you also want a very, very thin film of this. Want to
Yep.
make sure it's all the way rubbed in. You don't want it to be your skin to be wet. You want it to be rubbed in like lotion.
Yep.
And that's all you need. Maybe the size of a grain of rice, two grains of rice, something like that.
Perfect. So when's the next time I see you, bro?
I would say in a week to 2 weeks, whenever your schedule permits, my brother.
Sounds good, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate
sure.
it.
Oh, for sure. I appreciate you, my guy.
This is day 1. Pretty much this is how it's looking. It's a little red still from, the procedure, but the impressions are extremely crispy. Loving it so far. This is how it looks from this side. Pretty good. But again, this is pretty much just the first session. There's some gaps that need to be filled out, and that's pretty much it. All right, peace.